Hello everybody, Oofsky here. Thank you so much for tuning in to another review. Today we're looking at another The Witch from Mercury kit, which I have had the best luck with so far. I'm very excited to get into this. Today we have the Michaelis High Grade, which is the spiritual successor to the Beguir-Beu, I believe. The most lovely quality of life that is different, of course, is that it has a much easier name to say. I'm still not sure if it's Beguir-Beu, 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 Toby Maguire, Boo. I don't have any clue. Looks very neat. We still get the cables in lieu of the ball. Lovely art, still keeping with the white frame, of course, making it look very bright and very different from others in the high grade line as it is. Flipping it over, we've got this sick little gauntlet that opens up to have like a beam launcher. It can detach and shoot. I'm really enjoying the gladiator vibes that this seems to have. I like the Beguir-Beu because it was a little bit esoteric compared to some other more standard designs while still keeping a familiar grunt suit. But this definitely seems a little more specialized, a little more sure of itself. Let's open her up and get to building. Oh no, the instructions went through the desk. Oh, that's okay, I'll get them later. And now we're on to my favorite part of the whole process, and I'm sure many others, which of course is the build. Now, the build of the Michaelis is very straightforward, much like others in the G-Witch line so far. They feature very uniform builds. We're not using the polycaps, using the peg system. The peg system is here to stay. A couple little interesting notes about the build. The B1 and B2 runners are both a dark mauve color instead of the normal mechanical gray. It's a small detail, but honestly it really helps to tie together this like very cool, almost pastel color scheme we've got going on with those stark whites as well. And with 7 runners, a lot of which are halves to make up for the stand and the clear parts, it's really not a long build. In the same line with those notes, the C13 and A17 and A18 parts all have pretty thick gates, so just be mindful there. Don't damage your nice clippers. Maybe get out a janky pair to cut through them, and then be careful on the sanding for the stress marks. The molding throughout this kit is really awesome. All of the nice lines on the shoulder pauldrons, the sculpt of the face. And I'm really digging the beam saber gauntlets as well. It really flows. It feels nice. And now we've got some cool action parts with that gauntlet actually detaching and opening up almost in a flower type. It opens up, you can have the beam effect part, and it comes with a stand, just like the Beguir-Beu did to have those little ball pods flying around. Since this kit is the successor to the Beguir-Beu, it makes sense that we would get that again to allow it to pose with these awesome pseudo funnels. One thing I did that is different, normally I try to build the kits raw so you guys can see them, but honestly, stickers number 8, 9, and 10 for the gauntlet were so very frustrating. I couldn't take it any longer, so I actually ended up just getting out a Gundam marker, hitting it with some of that metallic green, and calling it a day. So all of those green parts you see on the gauntlet are actually just Gundam marker and not the sticker. So I would really recommend maybe doing that. We have another nice close-up of the silhouette here. It's very uniform. It really gives me some Gundam Kamaris vibes with that little thorax bit on the back. The purple color scheme, obviously. And it's got a very like regal, very knight-like vibe to it, and I really dig it. One thing that I do not love about the kit, if I had to start picking and choosing, it's got those double O Gundam like tiny feet on top of them being high heels. While they are very stylish and add to the silhouette of the mobile suit, they don't do it any favors in terms of being able to stand on its own. But if there's anything that these G-Witch kits do well, it's the fact that they are made to be put on an action stand. I mean, wow, they're so dynamic. They have Great mechanical bits. I mean, you can see him now here. He can even fit on that little stand that he came with, which is fantastic. But the Gundam or it's not a Gundam. The Michaelis mobile suit, Michelob Ultra. The Mic Ultra is really just made for an action stand. If you live someplace where you can't get an action stand in person, I would maybe recommend ordering one. And where else to order them besides leapingpandahobbies.com? Leapingpandahobbies.com, where you can use my promo code EGGHEAD and get 10% off your entire purchase, no matter what you want to buy. Leaping Panda Hobbies is expanding more and more any day to become your go-to hobby shop for whatever you want. Recently, they've added trading card games and tabletop games on top of the normal Gundam and Warhammer items. Whatever you want to buy, use my promo code EGGHEAD. Get 10% off your entire order. And on that note, I'm really glad that you guys continue watching and supporting the channel. If you're new to the channel, I'd hope you considered liking and subscribing. You know, we're getting really close to 1,000. That's going to be the next milestone, and I'd love to have you along for the ride, because we're only going to keep building interesting model kits from here. If you've been watching for a while, what have you been working on? I'd love to know. Let me know down below. Like, subscribe, and thanks so much for watching.